we're going to share our top 10 moments of the WBC. Starting.
Alex, where do I even begin? We've been doing top 5 moments from every single day, and now I have to figure out a top 10 for the entire tournament. Let's do it.
We're starting with number 10, which is Puerto Rico knocking out the Dominican Republic.
You know, those were the two of the best fan bases that we saw in this entire tournament here in Miami from the very beginning. We saw Francisco Lindor with the Little League inside the Parker in that game. The two crowds, from everything I heard, because we weren't here yet during that game, from everything I heard, that was the most incredible atmosphere that anybody has ever been a part of.
Yeah.
And just so cool to see that. Puerto Rico knocking out the juggernaut, the favorite in the tournament, the Dominican Republic, moment number 10.
Number 9, Roki Sasaki pitching on the anniversary of the tragic tsunami in Japan.
You know, this tournament had it all. It had every emotion you could possibly imagine. And this was this certainly tugged on the heartstrings. Roki Sasaki, whose father and grandparents passed away in a tsunami on March 11th, 2011. March 11th, 2023, fast forward 12 years to the day, Roki Sasaki was back out on the mound for Team Japan for the first time ever, accomplishing a dream of his, pitching for his country in the Tokyo Dome. Absolutely so special, and just an emotional moment for him, and for all of Japan, because his family's not the only one that was affected by that. It was an awful situation, and to kind of fast forward 12 years, he was 9 years old when that happened, Alex. 9 years old. 12 years later to the day, he's out there taking the mound, accomplishing a dream, and it was an emotional moment.
I can't even imagine how honorable that must felt for him to wear his country's name on the front of his jersey and his family name on the back of his jersey. Okay, we're moving on to number 8 here. Shohei Ohtani's monster home run in the Tokyo Dome, and then fans passing around his home run ball to share a photo with it.
Speaking of accomplishing a dream, Shohei Ohtani said it himself. As a kid, I dreamed of hitting a home run in the World Baseball Classic. Well, he did that. He hit a ball 450 feet off of a scoreboard out there, his first homer. And then what happened in the stands after just topped it all off. They caught the ball. This girl caught the ball and passed it around to every fan that wanted to see it. That would never happen anywhere else. To see that happen in Japan and for it to ultimately end up with the girl that caught it, Shohei's homer, the moment in the stands, all of it combined into one is number 8.
Number 7, Pepper Grinder Mania.
This one speaks for itself.
It does.
It's really all-encompassing with Lars Nootbaar. What Lars meant to this team. I don't know if this team makes it as far as they did without Lars. And it's not because he might not have had the best offensive outburst on this team, but what he meant to that team, what he meant to the fans, what he meant to the entire nation, bringing his celebration of the Pepper Grinder selling out in all of Japan, people bringing tens and thousands of Pepper Grinders to the stadium. Pepper Grinder Mania, thanks to Lars Nootbaar, was a highlight of my World Baseball Classic.
Number 6, another highlight, Randy Arozarena's catches and swag.
Yeah, it's really everything.
It's
right?
everything.
It's his homers early on in the tournament. It's these catches we see here. The home run robbery. The ball in the gap at the end of a pool play that saved them the game, or at the end of the semifinal, saved them the game. And he said that catch meant more to him than his home run in the World Series. The emotion he played with. Walking around in cowboy boots and a sombrero the entire tournament. His story of how he ended up here. Just incredible. The legend of Randy Arozarena grew even larger in this tournament.
Number 5, Team Czech Republic.
This is everything.
They stole the hearts.
Everything in one.
Of the world.
Just because they haven't played in a little while, let's not forget how electric they were. One, this whole WBC, there needs to be a movie about it. But specifically, there needs to be a movie made about Team Czech Republic. This is the team that came to the World Baseball Classic with teachers and financial advisors and woodworkers, and their coach was a neurosurgeon, and they put on a show for the world.
Yeah.
And they might not have advanced out of their pool, but down to the last day, they had a chance. They won a game in this tournament. One of their pitchers struck out Shohei Ohtani. Team Czech Republic. What could you say better than this? When the pool ended and Team Japan was heading to the United States,
Yeah.
Shohei Ohtani was rocking a Team Czech Republic hat on his way here. That says it all.
They literally touched all the players, all the fans. It was incredible. Number 4 happened tonight at the start of the game. Mike Trout leading out Team USA carrying the flag, and Shohei Ohtani leading out Team Japan carrying the flag. Just, I think, gave everybody chills.
If you love the game of baseball, this moment got to you.
Yeah.
It really did. It got to me, certainly. Mike Trout, who has unfortunately never been in a game in his career where it's all or nothing.
Yeah.
You're in the championship game. And to see him, I didn't know this was going to happen. It's the first time in this tournament it happened. To see him walk out of that tunnel with the flag on his back, with Team USA following out behind him, simultaneously looking across the field and seeing Shohei Ohtani come out with the Japan flag around his shoulder and the team following him out. For the game of baseball, this tournament has meant everything, and it culminated into that moment. That's what it was about. It was about all the nations around the world, teams that might not be able to communicate with each other, but the greatest stars in the entire world, in the entire sport, showing up in that moment. It was emotional.
It was magical. Number 3 was also a magical moment. Japan walking off against Team Mexico in the semifinal.
Yuntaka Murakami, the hero. We saw him struggle at the beginning of the tournament, but we knew this guy was one of the best hitters, I think, in the world. We'll see him in the United States in a year or so, and we got to see him in this lineup, and we got to see him put on a show in that semifinal game. That walk-off that we wouldn't even be standing. Who knows what the situation would have been right now if it wasn't for Murakami and that walk-off. What a moment. That tweet, Alex, was the tweet of the walk-off, was the most retweeted tweet in the history of Fox Sports. That's how big that moment was.
That was incredible. Now, number 2 is another moment that if it didn't happen, Team USA wouldn't be here, and that was Trea Turner's Grand Slam.
Trea Turner's Grand Slam was, look, that was emotional. It was emotional to see that. I mean, the moment, again, we talk about a team not being here.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for a certain moment, that moment was one of them. Trea Turner's Grand Slam, so incredible. One of the greatest moments that I have ever witnessed in person, and is certainly a top moment of this tournament.
And then the number 1 moment, a no-doubter, Shohei Ohtani facing Mike Trout in the 9th inning.
What? Yeah, Shohei Ohtani, Mike Trout. The tournament led up to this, Alex. The entire tournament led up to one moment. This was the moment we were waiting for. How could this not be the number 1 moment? No matter how it turned out, no matter how it worked out, it was all leading up to that moment. If Mike Trout had hit a homer, guess what? It would have been the number 1 moment. Had Shohei Ohtani struck him out, which happened, guess what? It's the number 1 moment. The entire World Baseball Classic, everything, the thoughts, the sounds, the emotions, the feelings, it all led up to that moment, and it was by far the best moment of the World Baseball Classic.
What an incredible experience.